Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. So this is a little bit of a different type of video, and today I will talk about the mistakes to avoid when buying a used vehicle. So we're not talking about new vehicles, we're not talking about financing, we're not talking about how to pay for a vehicle, because that's a completely different topic, and it's a good one too. But this time we'll talk about something I really wanted to talk about this for a long time, and I'm gonna tell you why in just a second. So, when you buy a used vehicle, whether it is a vehicle you see on a car lot, or a vehicle you see on eBay or on Car Gurus, wherever, what are the mistakes to avoid? And I will talk about my personal situation. I fell for a trap, not really a trap, but I didn't get scammed, but I think I got a little bit scammed, and I never talked about this before, but I will do it now, but especially since the car is gone. It's my Mercedes. And before we get into it, no, I did not get scammed about that the car was a bad car. So I got a car that was decent. It had issues I didn't know about, but it was not a bad car, and I fixed every issues, and when I sold it, it was a pretty good car for the price. So I didn't get scammed in terms of getting a complete lemon, so that was not it. Anyways, so we'll go through different categories, and I'll explain and I'll tell you about my personal situation and what happened to me. So first thing is not thinking enough about a car you see online, or even in person. You see a car online and pictures look great, or you see it in a lot and you really love it. You don't think enough about it. Is this a good car? Do I need to research? You have no cooling off period. That's always bad, because then you're tempted to just want to buy it. You even overpay because you want that car. You see that car, you want it. That's the car your brain tells you that's the car you always wanted, and you have to have that car. And if you don't get it, you'll never find it again. Wrong. Don't do that. I've done that before. That I really thought I had a car, but then all of a sudden it clicked, and I just said, nah, let it be, and I was not interested anymore. Okay, number 2 is buying at the car sight unseen. Yes, I've done that one with my Mercedes. I bought it sight unseen, and I paid the price for it. It was not a good experience, and I'm gonna go through and that experience with you, and I'm showing you the details, and I'll show you the pictures and the screenshots of the emails that I have from the seller back then, many years ago, so you can see what he did and what I fell for, so that you don't make the same mistake. Then no test drive. Yes, I did that too. When you buy a car sight unseen online, you don't test drive. You have it shipped to your place, you don't test drive. So, not a good idea. And if you see a car on the lot and they tell you it's great, but we can't test drive it right now, there's a red flag. Just leave, go somewhere else. There's always another car that's just as good. Not checking a Carfax or similar. Always a mistake, because you don't know what's going on with the car. It could have a branded title and they don't tell you. It could have had 10 owners and they tell you only 2, and you don't know. Just check the Carfax. Not everything is on the Carfax. I know you can always have something that's not on the Carfax, but chances are you can kind of see if it's a car that went through many hands, or that really had a terrible accident or not. So check a Carfax. If you look at the car online and you communicate with the seller online, not asking for detailed high resolution photos, that is a mistake. And here I have to say, I did that. I asked for high resolution photos and detailed ones, and he sent me some that were not really that great, and I'm going to show you that too. So don't make that mistakes. Ask for high resolution photos and detailed photos of whatever you want to see. And with the cell phones we have now, there's no excuse not to send a good picture. There's absolutely no excuse. So another mistake to avoid is not letting go if there are red flags. That means you see that Porsche 911, it is really, really good priced, and you say, wow, I'm a Porsche fan, I always wanted one. And the guy doesn't want to let you test drive. He sends you fishy pictures. They're always not sharp, so you can kind of tell the paint is a little weird. But you really love the car, and you always wanted a Porsche. This one you can afford, so you're not letting go. Even you see those red flags. Bad mistake. Don't do that. So those are my personal top points that you have to look for. So right now we'll go into my case with my Mercedes. In case you didn't know, I owned a 1999 Mercedes-Benz S-Class. It was an S500, and it was the W140 model. You know, for all you Mercedes guys know what it is. So it was the very last one in Europe. They discontinued that model in 98, in the United States in 99. So anyways, I always wanted one. It was a car, I remember it from my childhood. It was just a cool vehicle, you know. It was expensive, really, really expensive, luxurious. Powerful people drove it. I just wanted one, and I got in that mood, and I really wanted one. And I start searching, and there's no market for cars like that here in Utah. So all the cars I found were online in different states, California, Florida. And I found one that I really liked, and the price was good. You know, it was a fair price. So that's how it all started. And then I started communicating with the seller, and the seller, he seemed like a good guy. He was an attorney, and he was also a real estate guy. So that could scare you away, but it could also mean as a serious person who cares about his reputation. For him, it was a hobby car. You know, apparently he has a whole collection. He likes Mercedes. He's had many of them. All that stuff. And it seemed really serious to me. I thought that was great, and I researched the guy, and I found him, and he was not a fraud, you know, and he isn't. He isn't, you know. And I'm not saying that he did anything wrong. What happened was just a little bit weird. So this is not scripted. I'm just freely talking. So give me a second. I'll get my screenshots, and we'll go through them together in just after these pictures here. Alright, welcome back. So, let's go through the material the seller sent me. I asked him for detailed pictures, and the pictures he sent were all 640, let me look, 640 by 640 by 480. I should know that. So, and they were about 192 kilobyte each. So, not very good quality. Okay, here's the first one. See, not great. I'll go just click through them. That's the original photos he sent me. See, car looked clean, looked good, didn't it? Alright, see that? Those are the original pictures that he sent. Nothing really to see what's out of the norm. Now this one here, picture 3866, look at the bumper at the bottom. You can see that that's not even, so it's pulled out. Okay, keep that in your mind. The other ones are all about the same. So, yeah, So you see the license plate was Mississippi. That's where the car was registered. They drove it back and forth to Florida, I believe. Okay. Now, this is interesting. Picture 3877. You can see the driver's seat, and remember, it was torn. The driver's seat was torn, and I put a patch on it. I have a video on that. Look here, it's not torn. See that? Driver's seat is not torn. See, there's the passenger seat. Looks very good as well. See, there's another one. The driver's seat 3883, not torn. Okay, so I think we saw enough, and you get the message. So driver's seat was not torn. The pictures all looked good, but they were not not high res pictures. So what did I do? I sent them an email and I said, hey, you have any pictures of the seats, of the paint, a little bit better ones, because I noticed that the bumper is a little bit pulled out, and I also noticed that the paint looks a little chipped or fixed in some spots. And let me pull those photos up for you too. See what I got here. Okay, here I have one where you can see it. Okay, no, I apologize. So these are photos that I took, and I'll show these in a moment. But anyways, on those little photos he sent, you could tell that something was off, and I asked him about that. And this is the email that he sent me with the response. Is the email here. It's called email 1. So he says, I don't know of any paint issues. You may be seeing shadows or just bad pics. I have never turned on the wipers on the headlights. I will check into this. I have a headlight replaced once. I have had new brakes, rotors, pads in February, new shocks and tie rods. He still tells me all the stuff that he's done on it, and I researched that it was mostly true, that was done. And he says, this car needs nothing. I'm obsessive about my cars. So and so has done all the records, has done everything, has the records, and I requested the records and I got them. A lot of repairs had been done. That is true. And he said, I will text you some cell phone pics of the undercarriage. The best I can do. I do not have a lift. And he did send me some undercarriage photos, and I'm not sure where I have them now, but they were really small too. I think I have one here. Here, let's see. No, I can't find it. Anyways, they were all very small, and you could not really see anything there, Now, what do I get out of that? So, the car needs nothing, he said. Was not true, because it did need some stuff. What happened then? I bought the car. I believed the guy. I believed the pictures are good, and I didn't see anything else. The car got shipped here. It got delivered. I picked it up at a rest stop close to my house. Went there, drove it. And while I was driving it, man, something rattled really, really loud from the back speaker. It was terrible. Rattled really loud. I was unhappy about that. That was already my first negative experience with the Mercedes. I got home. I was all excited about it, I parked it. I went out inside, did a couple things. I come back out, and there's water running from underneath it. And here's a photo that I took back then. Image 1. See that? Look at that big puddle there. There was a huge puddle of water underneath, and I was not happy, I was not having it. I thought, the guy scammed me. Something is wrong. There's water all over. So was not happy about it, you know. Then I looked at the bumper cover, and that was definitely bent the way I already thought it would be, and you saw that on the picture. And I looked at the paint, and here I'll show you a picture. It's called image 0, and you see that has been repainted there. There's some spray. And look at this here, image 2. See, there's little dents there, and there's one there, someone painted over it, and that's all what I thought I saw, but he said it's just bad pictures and shadows. And look at the seat. The seat came with like a sheepskin cover, and took that off, and look, here's the first picture I took. It was torn. See that? Okay, I had this with trim here that was loose, and I saw it that I think someone took it off once. Okay, not too bad of a deal. And I saw this plastic here by a headlight that was kind of broken a little bit, which made it harder to adjust them, but it worked. And I had one of the windshield wipers, not the windshield, one of the headlight wipers not work. Even he said he would check into it, but that's probably why he said he never used them. You know, it was his excuse that they wouldn't work. You know. Wasn't really happy. You know, you can clearly tell that there was issues in the paint. You saw it in the pictures here, and I'll show him again. And this is what he said: there is nothing in the paint. It must be the photo. The bumper cover is in a great shape as well. Few rock chips underneath. That is not really noticeable from in front of the car. It does not have the rear sunshade. Okay. The tires are Michelin Defenders. They are old. And yeah, so you know, it was just one of these things, you know. And then I told him, you know, there's a rattle in the back, really bad, you know. Did you know anything about it? He says, thanks for letting me know. Check your spelling on where the rattle is located. Can't make it out. Never noticed the rattle though. Yeah, hard to believe. And I told him, hey, there is a rattle, okay? And it dumped all the water out in the garage. So, and I saw other issues. So I told him that. And he said, the other items that you mentioned, I'm not aware of. That bumper was not like that when it left here. Remember the picture in his garage? It was like that. So he said, you saw the leather pics before I put the covers on it. Yes, I did, but hard to believe that he put the covers on on perfect leather seats, and then all of a sudden they were all dried out and cracked. Yeah. So that must have happened while they were covered. I paid a lot for those covers and a lot for them to be installed. Well, guess what? I took them off and threw them in the garbage. They can be installed by yourself, so it's not that hard. Oh yeah, the horn didn't work. And he says, not aware of the horn. And then he says, I did not know they had more than one horn. I never had the headlights replaced. These were the same ones that it came with it. So glad you can fix all of these items. Yeah, he was kind of sarcastic there. That's something I forgot to mention. The horn didn't work. You know, it has two horns, and definitely one didn't work. And me and a neighbor that's really good with mechanical stuff took it off, and there was paint in the horn. You know, it was plastered with paint, so the car had been repainted. Part of the panels had been resprayed. No excuse there. You know, he just said he didn't use the horn. He must have used it at least once, and no, the horn didn't work. So it was all excuses, and it's okay. I bought an older vehicle, and it wasn't priced. It was priced fair, but the guy should have owned up to it. You know, that is what I didn't like. He didn't own up to it. He just made up stories. Now the water that it dumped, there was the cooling water that came out of the overflow, and that was the lid. The lid was I don't know, was defective, because I ordered a new lid from Mercedes-Benz, put that on, and it never happened again. So I fixed that. The rattle at the back was underneath the speaker. There was the speaker lid, and the speaker lid was broken. Yeah, just That's easy as this. So did that break while it was shipped on the truck? I doubt it. Why would it? Nobody's gonna throw something on that lid, on the speaker lid. Or did he just know about it but didn't care about it that I rattled? I don't know. I don't want to say he lied. I don't want to say that, but it is weird, isn't it? I think it is weird. So I took that out and glued some of it. So that was fixed. The paint I just left. I checked if the car had a bad accident, and it definitely did not. But it had been resprayed in certain spots. Now the pulled out bumper, that's old damage, and you could tell that's old damage, and someone tried to fix it. So he knew about that, and he didn't admit that, or he really didn't look underneath the car, which that would surprise me. And I left that too. And when I sold the car, I told people that the paint is not perfect. I also told them that the bumper cover needs to be replaced to have it perfect. So I told them about all those issues, and it developed a small leak from the transmission, and that's another thing he didn't tell me. And to be very fair, I don't remember if it did that from the beginning on, or if that was something that happened during my ownership. I don't know, but it was within the first, I would say, the first 14 days that I noticed that. So it probably had a small leak already. So, and I wasn't told that either. So I learned my lesson. Do not buy a car from online and let it shipped here. It's not worth the hassle. Always ask detailed pictures, videos, ask for all that, so this does not happen. So do that, and this won't happen to you guys. And don't let a guy blind you that is an attorney or real estate guy or seems wealthy. That doesn't always mean that the car is perfect, okay? He's probably a good guy, but did he hide some of the stuff? Yes, I really think so, and that's my personal opinion. I think he did. I would never say he's a liar and then talk bad, but I do think something was not told. He was not as transparent as he should have been. Okay, when it comes to the documents, money transfer, all that worked fine. So no problem at all. The shipping company, the shipper was okay, was okay too, and I don't think they did any damage on the car. This all looked like old damage. So he said that wasn't the way when it left, but I don't believe that. You can clearly see the same issues on his pictures. Just that I fell for the excuses that it's just a bad photo and shadows and all that. All right. Yeah, so I have more to say about this topic, but we'll leave it at this. So remember, when you buy a car, you should prefer to buy a car locally, or drive out to wherever you want to buy it and then test drive it, or have a mechanic look at it and then buy it, and especially if it's an older vehicle like this Mercedes. So I'm sad the Mercedes is not here anymore. I loved it, but I had no use for it. I really didn't. I never drove it, even though I liked it. I liked looking at it. Looked so good, but I never drove it. That's not what I need. I needed a pickup truck, and so decided to get rid of it. But this experience I made right when I bought it was not a good one, and that kind of stuck to the car a little bit too. So whenever I thought about that car, I didn't trust it. I thought something will break, something will happen. I don't know if I can trust it. So, and I made it was a bad deal for me, financially. I paid a decent price for it, but I did a lot of repairs, and I spent a lot of money on repairs. And yeah, it was not a good deal financially, but that's just how it is. When you really want a car, you tell yourself it's gonna be great. I will sell it with a profit. This is what I need, but it's really true, unless you spend the big bucks and buy a perfect vehicle. Alright guys, thanks for watching this, and please support the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Click on that bell so you don't miss anything. And yeah, thanks for supporting me. You know, you make this possible that I can do these videos, because without you, I wouldn't be much fun if you wouldn't watch. Okay, have a good evening, if it's evening or whatever it is, and I hope to see you soon on the channel. Thanks for watching.